Celebrating 10 years on the air, Bay Area Quiz Kids presents the best and brightest local high school teams competing in a tournament of knowledge. Brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union, Kaiser Permanente, and Samtrans. And now, give it up for the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Thank you. Welcome to Quiz Kids. Last week, the boys from Bellarmine secured a place in next week's final match. Today, we are going to select their opponent. Will it be the Gunn High School Titans? Or will it be the Harker School Eagles? We're about to find out as we begin with the collaboration round. Annie, gentlemen, welcome back to our game. As you recall, in this first round, you will play as a team. I have a series of 10-point questions here, which I will ask you, give you a few seconds to collaborate, and then ask your captain, Ben or Anand, to give me the correct answer. Do so, you'll score 10 points. If you give me the wrong answer, the other team gets a chance to steal. Back and forth will go till the buzzer signals the end of the first round. Good luck to both teams. Here is the first question for Gunn. In the United States, this generally means a meeting between local members of a certain political party. From the Algonquin word for council, this is what type of meeting? An example of which is the one in Iowa, which typically indicates who will win the presidential nomination.
Caucus, right?
Yeah.
Caucus.
That is right, a caucus. Eagles. They are typically made up by the association of green algae and filamentous fungi. What are these symbiotic organisms that can live on soil, trees, and rocks?
Lichens.
That is correct. The Baroque art movement of the 1600s, typified by artists like Rubens and Bernini, is usually seen as the result of what movement by the Catholic Church to combat the religious dissent of the previous century?
I think it's the Counter-Reformation.
Yes.
Counter-Reformation.
You got it. 10 points. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in the case of Roper versus Simmons that what sort of criminal remedy is unconstitutional for those convicted of crimes under the age of 18?
Death penalty?
That is right. Capital punishment. On the border with Belgium and the Netherlands, this city was in existence since Roman times, and Charlemagne likely chose its location for his imperial capital due to its hot spring baths, which are still in use. Name this German city, the site of several treaties, called Aix-la-Chapelle in French.
Aachen.
That is right for 10 points. His most famous poem is often sung on Hogmanay in Scotland, which is more commonly known as New Year's Day. What Scottish poet wrote to a haggis, an Auld Lang Syne?
Burns. Burns.
There's only one Scottish poet, yes. Burns. That's correct, Burns. Ted Williams, one of baseball... I'm sorry. You know, I'm getting better at the Scottish than I thought. Ted Williams, one of baseball's most pure hitters of all time, is significantly the last player to perform what feat in a season?
Hit 400. Hit 400.
That's right, for 10. Fort Duquesne, located at the confluence of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers, was an important site during the French and Indian War. The fort is now part of the downtown area of what major Pennsylvania city?
Pittsburgh.
You got it for 10. Mathematician Abraham de Moivre worked on probability theory as well as a famous theorem that linked trigonometry to what set of numbers that contained the imaginary number I?
Natural numbers? Imaginary numbers?
No, I'm sorry.
Complex numbers?
That's right, complex numbers. You stole it, and here's the last question. Named for the French scientist who discovered it, what manifestation of inertia explains why a high-pressure system in the northern hemisphere rotates counterclockwise while the same system would flow clockwise in the southern hemisphere?
Coriolis effect.
You got it for 10 points. And that's the end of the first round. Gunn has 40. Harker's in the lead with 60 points. We will come back for a brief chat with our teams after these messages. Don't go away. Thank you. Next week will be the last show of the 10th season, but we are already gearing up for season number 11. If you would like to join in on the fun and support us by being a member of our studio audience, be sure and call us at 650-637-1936. We'll send you tickets to a show. We'd love to see you here. Ben Bender. In addition to all your numerous academic activities, you play soccer.
Yes.
Are you playing on a school team or a community team?
It's a AYSO team.
AYSO?
It's the second season. There are 2 seasons for AYSO.
And how's it going?
Well, we're having our first game later today. Practices have been going well. You know, it's a more demanding season than the regular season. You actually have to try out for the team, but it can be frustrating at times, but it's also really fun.
And you probably have that higher level of competition in your minds because you've been working so hard to get there. Good. Good luck to you in this season.
Thank you.
Annie Chin, you're getting involved in the Science Olympiad. You said something's coming up with that this year that's very exciting for you.
Yeah, I do partner events, and the one I'm most excited about is the Write It, Do It event.
And what is that?
Well, my partner writes instructions on how to build some sort of complex structure out of either Connects or Lincoln Logs or whatever they give us. And I have to build it and beat all the other teams, build it accurately and more quickly than everybody else.
Is this in a timed situation, or do you get to have some time to do this and you all come back with your finished products?
The faster you finish, the more likely you are to win.
Well, good luck to you there. Now, Joe Wu. Joe Wu, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to make us all believe that Magic the Gathering is not an evil cult. Go.
I can't do that. We are actually an evil cult.
You are an evil cult. Oh, okay. Well, at last, the scoop has happened on Quiz Kids. How can we stop this cult from proliferating and destroying our world?
Well, you can destroy our nearby game shops. You can stick a knife in every nearby nerd you see.
Oh, now we're getting a little violent.
But we are an evil
Can't
cult.
we just roll a dice and get a 7 and have some magic power do that or something?
Well, that'd be D&D, which is a completely...
Oh, D&D. The magic people don't say D&D. We're going to move on. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Heather Mellows. Ananda Tarajan, Magic the Gathering or D&D?
Neither.
Because you're so busy with the, well, first of all, you were an Intel semifinalist. We had someone last week, and if you win today, you will be taking him on. So he was also a semifinalist in the Intel Science Competition, so congratulations. You're also preparing for the Science Bowl.
Actually, that happened yesterday.
The Science Bowl did?
Yeah.
Well, then what am I talking about?
Oh, well, I can tell you how it went.
Good, I want to hear.
So, yeah, the Science Bowl is basically a similar format to Quiz Kids, except the questions are all on science.
And the host is less cute.
Well, there are like more than one host.
None of them are as cute. Get it right. Well, 3 seconds to fix this.
Okay.
How did it go?
We got second place overall.
Congratulations, second place. Good for you. And with the distraction of those ugly hosts, that must have been very challenging. Vikram Nathan, in addition to a lot of other things at school, you were involved in debate. Now, all freshmen take a public speaking debate class.
Well, not all freshmen. You have the choice of taking a public speaking class or like some other kind of communications class. But I chose public speaking and introduction.
And now you take part in debate events through a club.
Yeah.
And you are involved in the Lincoln-Douglas debates, which are framed after the concept of what Lincoln and Douglas did before the election. One-on-one debates.
Yeah.
How have you been to competitions?
I've been to competitions throughout this year, and it's done okay, I guess. I cleared to some elimination rounds and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really fun debate.
It's an important skill that we don't necessarily teach our students enough. So good for you. Alex Hugh, in terms of building something elaborate, as we just heard, you're doing that through robotics competitions, and you're going to be heading down to San Diego. What's that all about?
Okay, so we compete in a robotics league called FIRST, and basically every year you have 6 weeks to build like some 120-pound robot that's 5 feet tall that accomplishes some tasks. This year we're supposed to build a robot that can pick up balls and throw them onto a trailer attached to the opposing robots. So this year, after much sweat and blood, our robot that we built hit all our design goals, so we're pretty excited for the competition to see how we do.
It's great, although why you can't just go down the street and find a friend to throw a ball with, I don't know.
Well, there are human players, but it's primarily a game on how well your robot's.
Of course, and good luck to you in San Diego. Let's give a big hand to your coach at Bradley Stoll. Now, please, with this invisible robotic ball, watch me play catch with our judge, Frank Saboti. Frank did not catch that ball. We will be replacing him next week with a robot. We will be right back with the next round of Quiz Kids. Don't go away. All right, gang, let's play the lightning round. In this round, the points are still worth... Questions are still worth 10 points, and you must use your buzzers to buzz in. First person to buzz in gets to answer for his or her team. Answer correctly, you'll score the points. If not, the other team gets to collaborate, possibly steal those points away. If you buzz in before I complete the question, you will have to answer with the information you have been given. Give me the wrong answer, and I will complete the question for the other team. 60 for Harker, 40 for Gunn. Good luck to both teams. Here's the first lightning round question. The artists who worked and lived on the left bank in Paris were on the left bank of what river? Yes, Annie.
Seine?
Yes. Romanian playwright Eugene Ionesco wrote what play in which the inhabitants of a town turn into the single-horned mammal? Anon.
The unicorn?
No.
Like normal.
You can talk about it.
Is it normal?
The normal. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the narwhal.
The rhinoceros. Just a rhinoceros.
Okay.
An advocate of atomic theory, what British scientist is well known for his gas law of... Yes, Anon.
Dalton.
Yes. An RJ11 wall jack is the terminus of a cable for what common household device? Alex.
Telephone?
That's right. There is speculation that she may be tapped to head the World Bank. Who is this former CEO of Hewlett-Packard? Yes, Alex.
Carly Fiorina.
Right. A commuter plane operated by which airline crashed near the air... Yes, Vikram.
U.S. Airways.
No. Crashed near the airport in Buffalo, New York last month, killing all 49 aboard and one person on the ground.
Okay, go for it, American. Go
Do you know?
American.
No.
Continental.
Okay.
The potassium-argon decay process can be used for dating objects. Isotope 14 of what element? Yes, Annie.
Carbon.
Right. It works out to an approximately 5.9% increase in frequency from the base note. What is this accidental that looks like a pound sign? Yes, Joe.
Sharp.
That is right. You can use this theorem with Pascal's triangle to determine the expansion of a plus b to the n power. Yes, Anon.
Binomial theorem.
Right. What Arizona town, sometimes called Old Pueblo, is home to the University of Arizona? Yes, Anon.
Phoenix?
No.
Tucson?
Yes. Passed by British Prime Minister George Grenville to finance the quartering of troops. What act put a tax on documents? Yes, Anon.
Stamp Act.
Yes. The kanji characters in Japanese that stand for sing, dance, and skill. Name a certain theater form. What form of... Yes, Alex.
Buki?
Yes. What project, considered as early as 1802, was completed in 1994 and is a passageway that connects England and France? Yes, Anon.
The Channel Tunnel?
Nope. Yes? You'll accept that? All right, yes. All right. The Channel, or the Channel Tunnel, yes. What is the luminous atmosphere of the sun most visible? Yes, Anon.
Total solar eclipse?
No. What is the luminous atmosphere of the sun most visible during an eclipse?
What? Is it what or one? Just
What?
say halo.
Halo.
Corona. The names come from an Irish Gaelic word meaning half-bodied. What are these elf-like creatures that are associated with Lucky Charms? Ben.
Leprechauns.
That's right. What novel by Richard Henry Dana was written from diary entries he kept while on a 2-year sea voyage? Its title referring to the area aboard a ship where the sailors' quarters are located. Annie.
Forecastle?
No.
Cool. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The Hold?
2 years before the mast. In Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls, this date is mentioned as the one that birds choose their mates on. Lovers in England and the United States celebrate the martyrdom of what saint? Yes, Anon.
Valentine?
That's right. What city contains the ruins of Karnak and the Valley of the Kings and shares its name with a pyramid-shaped hotel casino? Yes, Anon.
Giza?
No. A pyramid-shaped hotel casino in Las Vegas.
Luxor.
Right. What is this string instrument with a banjo-style body that is descended from the mandora? Yes, Annie.
The lute?
No. Yes.
Mandolin.
Yes, the mandolin. Originally proposed by Englishman Jeremy Bentham. What philosophical... Yes, Vikram.
Utilitarianism.
Yes. What are these kinds of telescopes that look for waves emitted from objects in the universe? Yes, Alex.
Radio telescopes.
Right. When the pressure within the pericarp becomes too great, you get an explosion. What is this snack food that has been... Yes, Anand.
Popcorn.
That is right. The term vexillology, or the study of these, comes from the Latin... Yes, Anand.
Flags.
Right. Though not an actual force, the definition arises from the interaction between a current and a magnetic field, at least one of which is changing. What is this so-called force measured in volts? Yes, Annie. Don't know? Okay.
Electromotive force.
That's right. It comes from a Greek word meaning something that spins. What is this special case of a parallelogram with sides of equal length? Yes, Vikram.
Rhombus.
Right. That's the end of the rounds. Look at the score. 100 for Gunn, 210 for Harker. Let's see if they can catch up. We'll be right back.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
It's time for the Extreme Lightning Round. Point values are doubled, play stays the same. Can Gunn catch up? Let's find out now. Good luck, both teams. First question. When supermassive stars collapse, they are usually destined to become either black holes, yes, Anand.
Neutron stars.
Right. Who was this character, supposedly the second to be cast out of heaven after Lucifer, and the primary antagonist in both Marlowe and Goethe's Faust stories? Anand.
Mephistopheles.
Correct. At one point, its route terminated at Varna, and passengers could then take a ship to Istanbul. But in 1889, Anand.
Oriental Express.
The what?
Oriental Express.
What do you think? The Oriental Express? Accept that? Okay, the Orient Express. One meaning of which word is the carved wooden decoration found at the prow of ships between the 16th... Yes, Anand.
Figurehead.
Right. What is this tiny island nation in the Mediterranean with capital Valletta? Yes, Ben.
Malta.
Right. If you draw a heart from a deck of cards with jokers removed, what is the probability that the next card you draw is a spade? Yes, Joe.
1353rds.
That is not correct. You can steal.
Okay. 13/51.
That's right. Japanese manufacturer Yonex dominates the equipment market for yes, Joe. That's right. What is this oath taken by physicians that lays out yes, Anand?
Hippocratic Oath.
Right. In existence since the year 597, what is this most senior position in the Anglican Church? The person in this position is said to occupy the chair. Yes, Anand.
Archbishop of Canterbury.
Right. Typical flowers have 6 of them inside a perianth, arranged in a whorl around the pistil. Consisting of a filament and an anther is what? Yes, Vikram.
Stamen.
Right. What character created the organization SPEW to raise the quality? Yes, Annie.
Hermione Granger.
That's correct. Also called a brake van or a guard's van, what is this railway car typically placed at the end? Yes, Joe.
Caboose.
Right. The hometown of Archimedes. What is this city? Yes, Anand.
Syracuse.
Right. What is this race derived from a horse race in which athletes run 7.5 laps of a track while jumping hurdles? And yes, Alex.
Steeplechase.
Right. It covers Hendry, Glades, Martin, Palm Beach, and its namesake county. What is the second largest freshwater lake in the United States located in Florida? Yes, Alex.
Everglades?
Nope.
Lake Okeechobee.
Right. Originally founded to house the collection of Thomas Jefferson's books, what is this national library that all authors must submit 2 copies of? Yes, Anand.
Library of Congress.
Right. What French author wrote the Valois romances, the Marie Antoinette romances, and the D'Artagnan romances? Yes.
Dumas.
Yes. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez claimed victory in a referendum that will do what? Yes, Joe.
Get rid of limits on his presidency.
Yes. What is this ruler and compass construction that has been proved impossible because one must generate a ratio of 1 to the square root? Yes, Vikram.
Squaring the circle.
Right. Your high school has 5 seats in the first row, and each of the other rows has 3 more seats in it than the row in front of it. How many seats are there in the 5th row? Joe.
20.
No.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, 17.
Yes. Founded by the namesake's fortune from the sugar refinery business, what British art gallery is the National Gallery of British Art from the 1500s to the present day and has an entire wing devoted to the work of Turner? The Tate. Consisting of photovoltaic cells, what are these flat devices that convert yes and no?
Solar panels.
Yes. A protege of Gandhi, who became the first Prime Minister of India, yes and no? That's right. What game now played on a board subtitled is subtitled The Royal Game of India? Yes and no?
Chess.
No. Oh. And you know it, and you're very ashamed of yourself. Don't know? Parcheesi. Notable players in this position are Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, and yes, Joe.
What? Tight end?
Yes. The orders of the Golden Kite, the Precious Clown, the Rising Sun, and the Chrysanthemum were all created by what emperor whose name is associated with the change in Japan's political and social structure in the... Yes, Joe.
Tokugawa.
No. In the late 19th century.
Hirohito.
Meiji. The Cassini flybys performed earlier this year have shown that Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, shares what significant feature with its larger neighbor Titan? Yes, Joe.
Atmosphere?
That is right. It was assumed that it was a liquid state of silver and thus was given a chemical symbol that is abbreviation of the Greek word yes.
Mercury.
That's right. The end of the game, 260 for Gunn. 550 for Harker. They're off to the final game. Thank you, Gunn, for playing this year. Good luck to you. We will see you guys next week, and tune in next week when we play the championship match of Quiz Kids. Be sure and find out who our winner is for the 10th season. Bye-bye.
The following underwriters helped to make this program possible: San Mateo Credit Union, Kaiser Permanente, Samtrans. Tournament champions will win an all-expense-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS. Additional support provided by the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, the Knights Templar, and National Academic Quiz Tournaments.